it is part of our comeback video to tell you the perks of getting married to a medical doctor.
Yeah, actually.
And vice versa.
Ours is, will I say, is complicated? Not complicated, but we are both medical doctors, so
the ups and the lows. Before you get married to a doctor or before you date a doctor, think about it. You see this 5 love languages quality time. If you are big on quality time, maybe you should be considered. I am. Hi guys.
welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel. I don't know how to give.
You don't know how to be, but
I don't know.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Anyways, we have to apologize, for you guys.
How YouTubers do, right?
We always have to apologize.
Yes, sir.
From the title of the video, you can see why we're apologizing. It's been a while. It's been ages. Okay. Life has been lifing.
Yeah. So it is part of our comeback video to tell you the perks of getting married to a medical doctor.
Yeah, actually.
And vice versa. So
where do we go from here?
Sit back and enjoy. Oh, who is going first?
Okay, so from the title of the video, you see, getting married to a medical doctor.
What are the perks?
And what are the advantages? What are the perks? What are the advantages? And ours is, will I say, is complicated? Not complicated, but we are both medical doctors, so this is not just one person thing. So if we were talking about the advantages, you can say, okay, you're multiplying it by 2.
Or the disadvantages.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so what are the perks actually?
The ups and the lows.
You want to say something?
Okay, so for me, I would say the first one is time commitment. Guys, before you get married to a doctor or before you date a doctor, think about it. You see this 5 love languages quality time. If you are big on quality time, maybe you should be considered. I am not saying you should not marry your babe, okay? But the time commitment in such a way that it is no news that doctors are overwhelmed, especially in a place like Nigeria that we are in. In fact, we are working twice as much because a lot of doctors have left the country, so there's a lot of brain drain on we that are still left, right? So we work long hours. Sometimes you can even do night shifts. For me, I do night shifts at a stretch. For instance, I'm starting my night shifts today. Okay, maybe by the time you are seeing the video, maybe I would have finished. But yeah, and it is a week-long night shift. Do you understand? So it's usually a lot. So it means I will not be at home throughout the night of the week. Then my husband will sleep alone on the bed. But you get what I mean. So it happens like that. Sometimes we run shifts, and the shifts I am at work is at home. Sometimes I am at home is at work. So it goes very fast, and it is daunting, guys. It is a lot. And you will think that because I am a doctor, I should understand. Oh, yes, I do. But sometimes I don't understand, and neither does he as well. So yeah, do you have anything to say?
Okay, I think what I think I can say most of this night shifting.
Yeah,
it's really sometimes really tiring. Being alone at home, like for the week, in fact.
Yeah,
you just be rolling on the bed.
And to think that, do you know that I remember? I don't think I've said this on our channel. I remember if I got married, right? This is just to digress. I remember if I got married, I used to be like, oh, I don't even need anybody in my space. I don't want, like, I can do with, I'm telling you, like, I enjoyed my space so much. But ever since I got married, oh my God, anytime my husband is also on night shift, best believe I don't sleep well. Like legit, I don't sleep well. Sincerely, what about you?
For me, I actually sleep well.
Ah!
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
yeah, but maybe it takes me a while before I sleep. Actually, I think that's the only thing.
Oh, okay, moving on.
Okay, so talking
Number
about
two.
number two, stressful at times, and sometimes the stress can push into personal life.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of times, it's not just physical stress. Now we're talking about emotional stress. There are a lot of times that um, of course, women are weaker vessels. Sorry to put it out there, but it just happens that way. And a lot of times she sees sometimes terminal cases, and then she comes home and she's like, is down and all of that. Or maybe like some physical stress as well. There are some days she just comes back and then she'll just be like, I don't want to, like, maybe we are planning on calling someone. She'll just be like,
This happened yesterday.
she'll just be like, nah, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very stressed. Like, and to be honest, like, I understand that part. So one has to be understanding. So you just have to understand. So when she says that, though, like, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything. I just want to shower and go and sleep. Of course, I know that. Okay, maybe dinner, maybe there's some food I'll just eat. Maybe I'm the only one that is going to eat that day or that night or something. So
Or we eat out.
oh yeah, or we eat out. Yeah,
Or we eat
sometimes.
out. I
Yeah,
remember there was a day, like talking about this stress. I think you mentioned like stress being like physical and
yeah, it can
emotional.
also be emotional
Yeah,
stress.
because I remember there was a day he came to pick me from work, and I just finished seeing a patient with a terminal illness that passed on. It was really pathetic, and I remember that day. Even till we got home, I was just really down. I could not wrap my head around it. So it spills over actually. And this physical stress, to be honest, I feel like it does not even matter even when you are like sometimes it spills even to when you get to the pinnacle of a career. Meaning like, for us there is hierarchy in medicine from medical officer going to residency if you want to, junior reg and all of that, and even consultants. Yeah, some I remember when I was doing my housemanship, my house job.
That's your internship.
Yes, my internship. And I was in O&G rotation, and we had a very critical case that night. Guess what? They had to go pick the consultant, a consultant of obstetrics and gynecology. They had to go and pick him from his house with the hospital ambulance. So what I mean is, considering getting married to a doctor or dating a doctor, this it can be really stressful. And even when somebody is a consultant, imagine there's some procedures that they still need to call a consultant. So it means even getting to the consultant level, there are sometimes they need your expertise, and you cannot help it. You're too good. You know how doctors, I remember there's some doctors that as they are dropping the call, they are picking another call. You get like it is actually very stressful. And for me, even for him, it's okay about myself. I know there are a lot of times like he just wants a massage and he wants to sleep. Like come home, shower, and go to bed. But I feel like it is still it is doable. Of course, it's doable. We're doing it right, but it is understandable also because we are both doctors. To be honest, as much as sometimes we both don't want to understand, right? But we still wing it because we understand what we're going through. Moving on.
Okay, so moving on. Another thing we want to talk about is lifestyle changes. A lot of times, as doctors, sometimes you might have to relocate. For example, if you're starting a residency program, meaning if you're going into a training, you want to plan on going to the pinnacle of your career. If you have to go into some training programs, a lot of times you might get training programs that are not where you're located. So yeah, so there's this possibility that you have to relocate, which is sometimes tiring.
And separate, right?
Yeah, sometimes you guys have to live separately. You get okay. Thankfully, that has not happened to us. But even a friend of ours that was in the US, and we
Yeah.
even had to join her in praying
Yeah,
that.
that they should post that to where her husband
Yeah,
is currently working, which
yes,
thankfully that happened, right?
yeah. So she
Yeah,
was going into a residency program, a training program. So we're joining her in praying that okay, so
yeah,
that they post her because imagine even in the US, living somewhere else, your
like a
husband is
different state
yeah,
entirely.
different states. So sometimes it's really,
And
really,
you know that actually used to happen here in Nigeria.
yeah, Nigeria as
But
well.
now because there are a lot of doctors that have jackpot, so you can as well be in your state and they will be begging you like come and start residency in that state. But before it was really tough.
Yeah,
Like you would pass your primaries, which is the exam before your residency, and you have to go to a different state entirely because that is the only slots that they have available. Yeah.
yeah.
But now it's yeah. Another point that I would like to also raise is social isolation. Oh guys, this is a lot. And what I mean by social isolation is that, a lot of time they say doctors, we don't have a life. I have a life in Jesus. I have a life in Christ Jesus. Hallelujah, somebody. But yeah, you know how you have like you're just buried inside work. And I feel like it's not only medicine, right? There are some demanding jobs as well. But for us medical doctors, you are buried inside work, you're on call today, you're on call tomorrow, you know. There are some residency programs because of the because a lot of doctors are out of the country that because you're the only resident doctor, you'll be on call every day. But
Even in the US, I think in the US sometimes
yeah,
it depends on your. I think it's everywhere, all
yeah,
over the
it is
world.
demanding,
Yeah,
guys. It's just that I feel like the difference between the US and Nigeria or other developing countries or developed countries is that it is rewarding much more than Nigeria. Do you understand? But medicine is medicine everywhere, right?
but I don't think even anywhere in all parts of the world, I think doctors are one of the poorest people.
No, not poorest. No, I take that. No, no, no. It's not. No, they are not the poorest.
They are not
No,
the poorest, but then
no, we're not poor. Hallelujah, we're not poor. Why am I even saying hallelujah? Anyways, so but what I mean is, there are a lot of times that maybe okay, your friends are okay, let's hang out because you're a doctor, you're on call, so you always have that excuse of oh, I am on call tomorrow. So that social isolation, sometimes you can be isolated, and that is true when your friends are, out there enjoying life. And another thing again is, even for us, I remember 2 weeks ago we had a couples hangout in my church, and before then they had fixed a date. But guess what? I had to go and meet my pastor. I'm like, Pastor, sir, please. My husband. And that day, the day I was even asking for that permission, he was not even in church. So I was not like, sir, next week Sunday, my husband will also not still be in church. And it will not make sense that we're doing couples hangouts. And I'm the only single person in quotes. Not like I'm single, but because my husband is unable to come. So he had to say, okay, no problem. We'll fix it. And he posted it on the group chat, the couples group chat, and we fixed another day. So yeah, it happens. Moving on.
okay. So I think we should talk about the advantages.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about disadvantages.
Yeah,
Marry your babe, oh, I beg. Okay, moving on. So we've talked a lot about the downs or the downsides,
so I,
right?
I think you should start with the advantages.
Okay. Okay, so the number one thing is financial stability. As much as
For real?
yes, of course. As
Uh-huh.
much as we can say doctors don't earn so much, but there is this financial security that you know that you might not be wealthy, but you are fine, you are comfortable. I think that's the word.
Okay.
You are very comfortable. And especially when you even get to like consultant level, of course not in Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, really, Nigeria is not that bad, right? But yeah, you have like financial security. You have your money coming in every month,
Oh
and
yeah.
the job is secure. It's not like the one that you can just be thrown out of the job. Of course, that does not mean like maybe your license and all of that, but you are qualified, you're a professional. So it's not like oh they throw you out of this job, you cannot find another, and we find. he would definitely find. Yeah. Number two.
Okay, I think another advantage is, the healthcare knowledge, or you have you have knowledge about, medicine, about,
Human body.
about the human body. You get, so you're quickly able to spot if anything is going on,
True.
not just in your partner, but like maybe siblings or family
Or
members
parents.
or parents.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they sometimes I have to call, like, okay, for consultation. Okay, maybe if you're having something,
Free consultation.
and of course they sent you to school, so so you have to of course, it has to be a free
Yeah.
consultation.
Yeah.
If anybody around, ask you, like, especially family members most of the times. Of course, that's one of another advantage.
Another part, another advantage of being married to a doctor is also like there is this community respect. If I can say that, there's
Okay.
this respect.
What do you mean community?
For instance, if you walk into a room and you identify yourself as a medical doctor, forget it. Let's not do humility strategy. There is this sense of respect or regard they give you. I have walked into rooms, I've walked into places simply because I'm a medical doctor. Sincerely, simply because I'm a medical doctor. And you now introduce your husband. Oh, my husband is a medical doctor. There's this respect that comes with it.
I beg.
It's true. To be honest, guys, if you support this, let me know in the comment section. And before we continue, we noticed that quite a number of people that watch our videos are not our subscribers. Why? Why are you jumping to watch without subscribing? So, love, what do you have to say to them?
Kindly subscribe, like the video,
Yes.
share.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so moving on. The next point.
Another advantage I see is, you're able to have, will I call it, I don't know, will I call it a meaningful conversation with your spouse?
Intense.
Another thing is, okay, ours is, like we said, the advantages, when we talk about the advantages, they are times two multiplied by two, because we are both doctors. Disadvantage is multiplied by two. So if I'm talking about something at home, like, that, oh, so blah blah blah, like, I think I need to do something, of course not mentioning details of the patient, like, I think, oh, this patient would have benefited from this or something. Of course my wife, she understands, of course,
Totally.
totally,
Absolutely.
she understands, like, of course, what I'm saying and all
Yeah.
of that stuff. So of course that's another advantage. So which other one do you want to mention?
So I think for doctors, we have like a supportive environment. And this even cuts across like even our day-to-day activities. For doctors, we have like an association, and we support each other to the core. We support each other based on like, okay, remuneration we're supposed to get, if there's any problem. I remember like even for doctors, we rally around each other. If a doctor has a challenge, say for instance with their health, we do it ASAP.
Okay,
To be very
yeah,
honest.
so sorry to cut you off. So
Yeah.
so God forbid, maybe if you get married to a spouse that maybe has a challenging medical condition.
Or even your colleague,
Yeah.
even your colleague at work.
No,
Like,
but we're talking about marrying a doctor now.
okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
if you get married to somebody that, God forbid, or one reason or the other, has a medical challenge and all of that, of course you see a lot of people show up for the person. You
Yeah,
get, and
yeah.
then, so basically that's it. Do we have any other? If you know other, advantages or disadvantages, you can write them
You can write them
on
down.
the
We need to
comments.
learn, please. I'm very sure a lot of people will be looking forward to the
Yeah.
comments
So
to at least also see.
so we're looking forward to the comments. Please kindly like the video, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
Thank you.
staying
We
with
hope
us.
you've been able to learn a thing or two, and please don't break up
Yeah, we hope we've been able to convince you and not confuse
and not confuse
you.
you.
That marrying a medical doctor is a very beautiful one.
It is.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, so talking
Number
about
two.
number two, talking about stress. Maybe you should talk about stress. How stressful is it?
We no be like this, we talk am.